Hi, everybody. I'm Robin from Western Mass. It's Sunday, February 6, 2022, and this is the Morgellons Call of the Week on this freezing sunny day in Western Mass. Of course, we're calling from all over, so. Anyway, welcome, and I'm about to introduce Richard Kuntz. I am the co-host, and Richard is, in my humble opinion, the world expert on Morgellons and other skin parasites, because it's not just an intellectual thing. He has suffered with Lyme disease, with springtails, with mites, with Morgellons, with all kinds of stuff, and he has found solutions that actually work, and we've helped him in that. But he over a period of 2 or 3 years, he found this diet that I believe what it does is starve parasites out of your body. But I don't think anything will work if you're not on the eating plan, or the diet as we call it. It's in the book. And in the book, I use it like an encyclopedia. It has protocols for disinfecting your clothes, disinfecting your environment, cleaning your skin, taking care of your laundry, taking care of your car, and it just is chock full of how to get your life back. So at this point, I'd like to welcome Richard Kuntz, author of How to Get Your Life Back.
Thank you, Robin. It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome, everybody. This is the Morgellons event of the week. I don't believe there's anything else like it in the whole wide world. I didn't start this path to discover or learn anything about skin parasites. I ended up pulling a vine from a tree in my backyard, and a cloud of dust descended upon me, and 4 days later, my life turned upside down, and my story's in the book, chapter 2. And many people have read it and related with it. Now, you don't get Morgellons and springtails and things like that only from trees and dust coming from them, from a bird nest or something like that. Hey, I've had 3 people write me this week telling me that they noticed it in the hotel rooms they were at, and it started there. Hell, you can pick it up sitting on an airplane seat. Somebody that sat there before you was extremely infected with it, and leaves their telltale filaments or organisms, and you sit in it, and you are susceptible to it. Hey, one lady told me she picked it up after sitting on a toilet in Universal Studios. So you can get it anywhere. The barber shop, the salon. So, it doesn't mean that you're a dirty person. I was the cleanest person in the world and felt like the dirtiest person, because these organisms, as you well know, take over your life. And they consume you. They're from head to toe, and you can have lesions and all kinds of problems and suffering and pain and agony 24/7. So this is the kind of people that come to us, and this is the kind of people that are on this call today, the people who are suffering dramatically. Now, not everybody who contracts Morgellons or skin parasites such as springtails suffers dramatically. Many people are mildly affected for maybe a couple of days or so, and it clears up on its own. Some people, you'll find something and you'll try it, and that's the miracle cure. But there are those of us who are not so fortunate to find something that works real quick or be minimally affected, and we are the people that are on this call. Now, the I don't think there is one person on this call who hasn't been to at least 3 doctors, to at least 3 physicians, to find what's going on. I know one had reported that she had gone to 40. Maybe she exaggerated. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I mean, what's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So after 5 or 6 visits to the doctor, you pretty well should have an idea. Hey, there ain't nothing there. And even if you're lucky enough to find a doctor that even agrees with you that you might have Morgellons, he won't know what the hell to do. Eat well and take a bath in Clorox might be a suggestion you get there. So, hey, well, that's why we're here. And as Robin shared in the beginning, I went through all of it. Lyme disease, which is related or connected with generally the research published by the Charles Holman Association, done by Middleveen and Strickler. They find that 90% of people with Morgellons have one of 2 types of spirochete. That's Lyme disease. So, Lyme disease used to scare the hell out of me. When I was early on, I saw I met one lady, and she a young lady, and she ended up dying of Lyme disease. And it scared the hell out of me that one day it might get me, and well, I got it. It almost killed me, but I'm here, and I'm 99.5% recovered. Anyway, doctors, we are not here to replace doctors. I mean, the FDA requires me to inform everybody that we are not medical doctors, and that before you begin the King diet, which is very strict, very restrictive. Am I being redundant? No. Very strict. You can't make a mistake and be successful. Before you accept any of our recommendations, myself or any of my coaches, that you address them to your medical doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you may be presently experiencing. Likewise, the AMA and the FDA require us to tell you that since we're not trained medically, that we are not allowed to diagnose you. So we're not here to diagnose you. We're not here to treat any physical disease or mental disease. We want to talk about the American Psychological Association. We're not here to treat mental disease. We're not here to mitigate or cure any disease. So that we don't do, But what we can do is educate. And we can educate you how to utilize the King diet. Now, I don't know why it works. All I know is it works. It seems to put them into a trance, or a sleep, which, guess what, allows you to get sleep. When they're asleep, you're asleep, okay? So, I mean, it is powerful, and many people have claimed it to be a cure. It is not. It is not a cure. It's that powerful, though, but it works basically for 90% of the people who get on it. It works just as it is. Now, for the other 10%, I always used to say, well, do the diet. And I've learned through many people that did the diet and still had trouble with it, but what they did was they went an extra mile, and they made the diet work for them. So they kept the diary and found out that, for instance, rice and spelton, something like that might be on the diet, wasn't good for them for the first few weeks. Or they found that they can't have any oils or fats in the beginning of the diet. So they figured out the little nuances and made the diet work for them. So we can educate you how to clean your skin. And Chapter 3, as Robin mentioned, goes into that. And then we can instruct you in how to clean your environment. And as Robin mentioned earlier, the car, the home, the bathroom, everything that your laundry, your bedding, all of that is discussed in Chapter 3. So we can educate you there. And we can also educate you in how to build health and immune functioning, which is what the topic of this call is about today. Now, everyone is invited to send in the questionnaire. When you first get your very first email from me, there's a link to download the book, and on that page is also a link to the questionnaire. Or, as many people do, is they can write me and say, send me that darn questionnaire. Hey, and I'll do that. All they have to do is reply to any email that you get from me, and it'll come direct to my inbox, and I'll send you the questionnaire. Now, so it goes through the nutritional supplementation that we recommend to build health and immune functioning. For years, I've called it the Columbella, the other word, the technical word for springtails, Lyme pack, because, as I said, 90% of us are dealing with Lyme disease. And that doesn't scare any of us, because guess what? We have, as dangerous as Lyme disease is, we have lots of success stories. Lots of success stories. So Lyme disease, that was going to be the title of my report. Lyme disease doesn't scare me anymore, because it did scare me. And now that I've gone through it and come out the other end, we're very powerful when we're dealing with Lyme disease. Now, again, we're not treating you. And I do have a report that is entitled something about Lyme disease. So in that report, it basically goes through the basic nutritional package that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And if you're on that basic nutritional package, now it's not a cure, it's not a treatment, but by boosting your immune functioning, you may need zero medical treatment for Lyme disease. Or if you do, it will dramatically boost the effect of whatever treatment you go on. And the report goes into all those different treatments. Goes into salt and vitamin C, it goes into rifing, it goes into, hey, there's a clinic in Europe someplace that you can go and lay down about $20,000, and under controlled circumstances, they'll raise your body temperature to 107 degrees and hold it there for a period of time, and that will kill Lyme disease. And it goes into the antibiotic approach to Lyme disease. But back to the basic package. The basic package we call the Columbella Lyme pack. And it seems that when people get their lives back, they then think, well, okay, I got my life back and I don't need this package. So we've changed the name of the package to the Pack of Life pack, because in this world where we have things like glyphosate and our food supplies being eroded by poor farming practices, and the nutrients are not being replenished through the food that we eat, just about any book you read on nutrition will agree that you don't get all the vitamins and minerals in the foods that you consume like we did a century ago. So the first part of the Pack of Life, there are four parts to the Pack of Life program. And people often write me and say, well, which one? If I could only do one, which one would I start with? And, that's kind of a toss-up in the air, because, in my opinion, vitamins and minerals are very good. But then again, my real benefit came from adding this product, Max 1, Glutathione Accelerator. So would my results have been as great if I weren't taking the best multiple vitamins and minerals around? I don't know. But I know that when I added this product, my Lyme disease went from 100% of excruciating pain and agony 24/7 to 5%. Dramatic. And there's research published in the book where glutathione has been found to inhibit the production of Lyme, of Morgellons, the duplication of Lyme disease. So now this product is called Max 1, and it is what we call a glutathione accelerator. It is not glutathione. you can go to the store, to the health food store, and buy reduced glutathione in tablet or capsule form. However, two problems. One, I pretty well guarantee you that some of the ingredients in the package or in the capsule will not be on the King diet. So in other words, simply by taking those capsules, you'll be feeding the parasites because of some of the ingredients that are there. The second reason is that glutathione is a huge molecule. It's called a tripeptide made up of 3 proteins. And when you consume it through the mouth, the stomach thinks it's food and digests it. So you might get a boost of 18% to 30% if you're lucky through a glutathione supplement that you get at the health food store. Now, the Max 1 product is the only product that I have found that is compatible with the diet and reasonably priced. The other one that I found, that I don't remember the name of it, but I was very excited when I first found it because its ingredients were completely compatible. But when I saw the price tag of $200 and some per bottle for a month's supply, well, I took that off the table automatically and don't even remember it. But Max 1 is D-Ribose, which is natural sugar, a natural sugar. You know, remember, sugar is not on the diet. That's dextrose, sucrose, that kind of sugar. The cheap, inexpensive sugars that get converted into blood sugar very easily, very fast. Well, D-Ribose is a very high quality form of sugar with L-cysteine, which is a limiting molecule, the limiting protein. So they're somehow bonded together by this technique that a Japanese scientist figured out so that it gets through the stomach and into the cellular network. In the cellular network, they go to work. The D-Ribose just happens to be the natural sugar that the mitochondria. Now, what is a mitochondria? Well, mitochondria are described as friendly viruses. They're friendly furnaces. There may be 100 or more, maybe 1,000. I don't know how many are in every cell. But they are what keep you warm. You extinguish the mitochondria and you're cold as a rock in minutes. That's what they do. They keep your body warm. And we can get into ATP and all that stuff. That's all good technical stuff. But what we're interested in is the D-Ribose feed the mitochondria. And the glutathione, the L-cysteine, bonds with the other 2 proteins that are of a great abundance and produce glutathione right inside your cell. Now, this is important. It's in the cell. And this is where what is called radical damage happens to the cell. Free radical damage. What is free radical damage? Well, free radicals are like a half of a molecule running around looking for a partner. So you might have a peroxide free radical, that's OH, running around looking for a partner, and it bumps into your DNA and it starts making a mess of your DNA. Well, that's free radical damage. So there are many different kinds of free radicals that are floating around, and the glutathione protects your DNA from free radical damage. What is Morgellons disease? Free radical damage. So, what better thing to have than to help protect yourself against the ravages of Morgellons disease than something that protects your DNA from free radical damage? So that's only one thing that boosting glutathione does. Hell, you know, I operated a stress management center for years, worked with doctors and psychologists and nutrition and all that, and never even heard of the word glutathione until I retired from it and got Lyme disease. Never heard of it. Have you heard of vitamin C? I'm sure everybody on this call raised their hand. Yeah, I heard of vitamin C. You know, PubMed has 50,000 studies published about the benefits and value of vitamin C. 50,000. Linus Pauling, Nobel Prize winner, said if you get sick or get a cold, take as much as 8,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, along with some vitamin A and some zinc and things like that. And wow. Do you know how many studies are published on PubMed about glutathione? No, not 10,000. 80,000. Over 80,000. Yet we never heard of it. The doctor never heard of it. No, no physician I've ever gone to, when I ask them about glutathione, they scratch their head a little bit, and they pull out some answer from wherever, but they don't know about glutathione. They don't know about the value. What else it does? Lyme disease loves toxicity. What is toxicity? Well, everybody, for years, when I was a kid in chemistry class in high school, we used to play with mercury. We'd put it in our hand and have it roll around. And, well, back in the maybe 70s, they were talking about the high mercury content in fish and to avoid fish. And since then, it's been a war against mercury, and we get mercury into our bodies. Well, that's not the only toxic thing. We get nickel, we get cadmium, we get aluminum, we get many of these metals. Many of these metals we get into our system. And we get pesticides. We get, gosh, I don't even want to hazard a guess as to how many chemicals there are that we have no idea of the impact that they have on human health. I used to work DuPont Chemical Company. I was a chemical engineer. My job was to make chemicals. And many of these chemicals, we have no idea how they affect the health, and they end up in our cellular structure as toxicity. Well, thank God for glutathione. It's the body's major detoxifier. And if you do research on Lyme disease, the first thing you're going to find is the spirochetes love a cesspool of toxicity. So glutathione cleans out your cellular structure of all that toxicity and helps, I don't know exactly what it does, but it ends up maybe starving the spirochetes, starving the Lyme disease. I don't know exactly how it works, but nutritionally this is very important. And getting rid of toxicity is important. Many people spend thousands, $10,000 having all the fillings, the mercury fillings taken out of the amalgam fillings taken out of their mouths. They don't need to. Just boost your glutathione. Take it. It will clean out any of the toxic metals that are released from your fillings and get rid of them. Of course, when we're doing this, we'll also look at detox reactions, because what we're talking about is detoxification, and that's a subject for another time that we've also handled on maybe at least one or two occasions on these calls that like we have today. Now, am I done talking about glutathione?
You covered it pretty well.
Well, I'm not close to getting done. Inflammation. Right. Every disease known to man is complicated by inflammation. The major reason many people eat vegan is to minimize the foods that contribute to inflammation, like meats and proteins, and things are said to contribute to inflammation. Well, here we go. Glutathione is the body's major anti-inflammatory. Major anti-inflammatory. Okay? That makes a big difference when we're dealing with any disease. Heart disease, a major killer. So, now what else does it do? Hemoglobin. what does hemoglobin do? It carries oxygen to your cells. And what does MAX1, what does glutathione do? It boosts the ability for your hemoglobin to carry more oxygen. You starve your cells of oxygen, and you're starving. Simple as that. So you need oxygen to your cellular network. And it also boosts immune functioning. So wrap it up. Glutathione is, in my opinion, the number one. Now, how about vitamin C? Linus Pauling. Now, here we have a Nobel Prize winner. We have many doctors who are amazing experts in their field. Very few of them talk about glutathione. They talk about vitamin C. In fact, Linus Pauling and his 8,000 milligrams of vitamin C, well, that's a laugh. He didn't know about glutathione because if he had known about glutathione, he would have never said that. He would have said boost your glutathione because glutathione recycles vitamin C. Vitamin A as well. Alpha lipoic acid. So if you're going to a nutritionist and they're loading you up on alpha lipoic acid and vitamin C and vitamin A, hey, and they don't mention boosting glutathione, they don't know what they're talking about. They really don't. When you boost glutathione, you need a lot less of that other stuff. Why do we need glutathione? You see, our body does naturally make it, but over the years, after age 20, they find that our glutathione stores in our body are diminished by 10% every year. I'm 75. That means 60-some% of mine are gone. Goodbye. So now, there are other factors that diminish glutathione. Use it up. You see, I talked about all the things that glutathione does. Now, for glutathione to do all that, you've got to have it present in your bodies. And if it's not there, then you've got problems. So things that diminish glutathione are things like solar radiation, radiation in your house, electricity, EMF, all this. The exposure to this diminishes glutathione. Poor sleeping habits. Will anybody please raise their hand if you have great sleeping habits on this call? We got 300 people, but none of them got great sleeping habits unless they've got the diet to kick in and they're well on the way, as some of them might be. But those of you who are new and have come to the program, you're not sleeping. I know that. You're getting up at 3 a.m. like I was and going crazy and going nuts. Drinking alcohol will diminish glutathione. Well, that's not on the diet, so alcohol is out from now on. But goodbye wine, goodbye beer. If you're only dealing with Calumbala or AKA Springtails, when you get to stage 2, okay, you can have a light beer and you can have white wine. But for now, it's gone. All right. If you're dealing with Morgellons, it's out for a much longer period of time. Stage 3, that could be 6 months from now, before you have your first drink. Okay, so that diminishes. Injury. If you get hurt, cut yourself. Now, if you're walking around with lots of lesions, that's injury. That's using up glutathione. All right, now, how many of you on this call take Tylenol for your headaches? Hey, everybody raise their hand, right? Tylenol. They're called NSAIDs. There are about a half a dozen of them, or maybe 8 or 9 of them. They all reduce glutathione. They damage your liver. God, I can't believe that doctors prescribe this stuff or say, go take Tylenol. It's irresponsible. It damages your liver, uses up your glutathione stores. It's like they're making business for themselves. They don't even know it, though, but all they're doing is making you sick, getting business for themselves. Hey, so those are just a few things that use up glutathione, and I'm sure that everybody on this call recognizes at least 2 or 3 that are impacting you every day. All right, so, wow, that was a long one. Max 1. The other part of Pack for Life. So this is not something you want to just take for a few weeks till you get your, till you're feeling better. And this is not something you just want to take and say, well, I'll take it for 2 days and see if I feel better. No, you need at least 6 weeks of boosting your glutathione. It's, the maintenance dosage is 2 per day. Now, when long time ago, I was on vacation and I pulled a muscle on in my leg and I could barely walk. My vacation was basically ruined generally, but fortunately I had a bottle of this with me and I took 8 a day, and what normally would have taken me probably 2 weeks to get over, I got over within 2 days. So glutathione is really important. So depending on where you're at, 2 per day may just be touching you may need to go up to 6 or 8 capsules a day for a period of time till you get the desired results. Now, back to the Pack of Life. Multiple vitamins are very important. I can't imagine living without multiple vitamins. There are many high-quality multiple vitamins available, many, but only one that is compatible with the King diet. Only one, and we do have it in the store. Now, I don't know how many actually companies just produce multiple vitamins, because I'd say that nearly 100% of the companies produce vitamins and minerals. So you'll see they want to give you everything you need in one pack. And that's nice, and you might need to take 3 a day, and that's nice that you get your minerals and you get your vitamins, and they'll put in some pumpkin seed, and they'll put in some rose, some berries or something like. Well, many of these things are not on the diet or are going to feed the parasites. So no matter how great a quality of multiple vitamin you have, put it in the back shelf, put it away. Because I guarantee you, either something in the ingredients that is healthy for others will feed the parasites for you. Or if you look down in the other ingredients, you'll find things in there like maltodextrin or glycine or something, or diglycerides, something. So put them in the back. The Nature's Gift multiple vitamin that we have is only a vitamin. And when you look at it, it only lists the vitamins. There's no cranberry in there. There's no nothing else. No berries, just multiple vitamins. And when it says other ingredients, it says none. None. And when you open it up and look, there's no coloring in it. So there's no nothing to deodorize it. So when you open up, it's gonna be smelling like a multiple vitamin. It's gonna smell like vitamins, and because it is a natural vitamin and everything is natural in it, even the color may vary from batch to batch. So somebody says, "Oh, but it's not the same color the last batch." Well, colors change with age. When we're talking about natural substances, organic substances, they change with age. So unfortunately, it took us almost like 5 weeks or 6 weeks that we were out before we finally got our multiple vitamin back, but it's back and it's fantastic. It's the best in the world, the only one. So, okay, after you get your life back and you're on stage 3, you can go in the cabinet and pull out the other vitamin that you were taking, and you can go back to that vitamin if you want, or some other great vitamin that you had, but not until you get to stage 3. But by the time you get there, I don't know, I think you're going to love continuing with our Nature's Gift multiple vitamin. Now, minerals are important. The next topic. Raise your hand if you haven't seen in the grocery store or online alkalizing water. That's the big craze now, right? Alkalizing water. So you know they say, oh, this water is 10.5 pH. Drink this water. It's fantastic. Well, you know, okay. Ta-da! Here we have coral calcium, nature's gift, coral ionic minerals. One sachet comes in a little sachet, and you want to be using either a glass container or a Lexan. Do not use an inexpensive plastic container with this stuff. Do not use metal spoons with this. This is a little sachet. You drop it in your bottle of water and you add spring water, or Poland Springs, or distilled water. Stay away from tap water throughout the day, and you drink from this. As soon as you put this in your water, your pH goes to about 10.5. So here we have it. No need to go buy expensive alkalized water when here we have the thing that's going to alkalize and purify the water that you're drinking and give you 71 or 72 minerals in the balance that your body needs them. In other words, you don't want to take a formulation that has 10 milligrams of every mineral. You know, that the body doesn't work that way. It's a specific balance that your body requires that is in the sachets that come with the alkalized coral calcium. So that's important. Now, the last thing is everybody who goes to doctors for Lyme disease generally gets treated with antibiotics, correct? All right. Well, if you look in our blog post and go back, we did a series, I don't know, about 6 months ago. It was a series of about 3 blogs about all the facts, all the research that has gone into follow-ups with people who have been treated with antibiotics for Lyme disease, aka Morgellons. And the antibiotics generally can be disastrous to your bodies. Now, I don't want to get in trouble with the AMA because they love their antibiotics, but this is a natural antibiotic. And I'm not going to claim it is. All right, I'm not going to say this is an antibiotic, this is an antivirus. No, I'm not going to make that claim. Go to Wikipedia and look up allicin, A-L-L-I-C-I-N, I think. Allicin, acillin. I don't know how the correct pronunciation, but that's what this is. Acillin is derived from garlic, hence our name garcillin. But you will not find it in any of the garlic products that you're going to find in a health food store. Why? Because as soon as a clove of garlic is open, the acillin immediately degrades, gone, poof, bamboos. So nothing you're going to find in a health food store that's about garlic or any of those have any acillin in them, none. Researchers in the UK discovered a way of extracting the acillin from garlic. And each of the capsules have the equivalent acillin of 35 cloves of garlic. That's a heck of a lot. Now, we go this route because we don't end up with people having problems with overdoing it on the antibiotics that they get. Antibiotics, long term, can literally destroy your health. And unfortunately, you often don't know until you're there. I just had some teeth removed first, and I was given antibiotics. Okay, I took them. I don't want infection, short term. Only 4 days, and my gut was a tremendous upset, terrible. It's, you know, I could tell. And even after I stopped them, it continued for about another 3 or 4 days before my stomach finally started settling down. Well, if you go to Wikipedia, this is claimed there to be a natural antibiotic, antiviral, antiprotozoan, antifungal, and antiparasitic, right up our alley. And how I know its value personally is because after I was using the Max 1 for a few years, and as I shared, my Lyme disease symptoms were 95% diminished. I took 1 capsule of this stuff, and within minutes, or maybe half hour, I don't know, my knee had inflamed twice the size of normal, and the pain was excruciating, reminding me of how it used to be when I was suffering 100% from Lyme disease. It detoxed me that fast. Not that it's going to detox everybody that fast, but I knew immediately this was powerful stuff. Now, we also have in the store colloidal silver. I believe it's 10 parts per million. It's the same strength that sovereign silver, the top selling silver in the country, has 10 parts per million. And people choose this probably 400 or 500 to 1. So now, putting it all together in the life that we deal with, put those 4 together and you have the pack for life. You have the Nature's Gift multiple vitamin. We have the coral calcium to alkalize your water and to give you all the minerals you need. We boost your glutathione so that you're protected for life, and you can always go up as if you pull or strain a muscle or something, you can always go up to 3 or 4 a day. And we have the natural antibiotic, antiviral, antiprotozoan, and antiparasitic garcilla. And that I call the pack for life. And then beyond that, if you're also dealing with Morgellons and you have filaments and fibers, well, then we have other supplements to help boost immune functioning and get your life back. But these 4 are the basic pack of life that I recommend for life. Okay, you have anything you'd like to add to that, Robin?
I think the name of your Lyme book was Lyme Disease Doesn't Have to Own You.
Thank you, yes. Lyme disease doesn't have to own you anymore. That's great. Okay.
But I'm glad you covered everything.
And it's free. All of our information is free. The ebook is free. The King Diet is free. You know, the most valuable diet in the world for you is stage 1, and it's free. And once you're on it and you make it work and you want to, stage 2 only costs you $300. No, stage 2 is free. Stage 3 is free. The report on Lyme is free. Report on how to win the war or the mite is free. We have all the information here free. This call is free. Our support is free. We're here to support you in any way we can.